Hi guys, as requested, I'm going to review a video by Dr. Mike Hansen. The video is called "Drinking This Every Day Changed My Life."
I'm going to share with you something that changed my life so much that I wish I did it 5 years ago, if not sooner. This one change allowed me to have more energy, more stamina for my workouts, including burning fat, better skin, better gut health with improved bowel movements, no more bloating, better sleep, sharper focus, better mood, more motivation and productivity, less sugar cravings, and having a much easier time cutting out processed food. So what was that change? It wasn't taking some supplement
Whatever it is, I'm definitely getting on it.
or some magic pill. It wasn't drinking a smoothie per day. It was drinking a super smoothie per day. And I'm going to specifically
Of course.
explain why that changed my life for the better. But let's rewind for a second to what my life was like before I started doing this. When I got COVID in late May, early June, I had the typical symptoms that lasted about a week or so, but the fatigue I had, that lack of energy, that lasted about a month. Now I stopped working out, and when I started to work out again, my stamina was awful. My sleep, erratic. I had no motivation, and I had a much harder time focusing, and my gut health was definitely off, to say the least. I knew that nutrition was the key to get me back on my game. Well, let's face it, it's hard to always eat unprocessed food. So I really became obsessed with figuring out the
I wonder how it's hard to do that.
absolute best foods to put in your body, the ones that will give you the most bang
Yeah, all of the packaged stuff in plastic, those are the best foods on earth.
for your body. And I realized that there was no
Turmeric, which is absolutely toxic.
better way to do this than with super smoothies, especially because the ones that I was making actually tasted great. Any given super smoothie
That's funny because you're implying that smoothies usually don't taste great, and that is true in all of the cases, except that sometimes you put in a lot of sweet fruit to cover up the taste of the toxins. All of the garbage that you put into it, which is considered to be healthy, is actually very toxic for the body. It's poisonous. But of course, you cover it up.
smoothie contains several different superfoods, and ounce for ounce, they contain way more fiber.
Alright, let's go through this fiber. Fiber is the indigestible part of a plant. The less fiber you have in your diet overall, the better your gut health will be, and just everything, because fiber causes constipation. That's the number one reason for constipation, because you just cannot digest it. It just rots in your gut. Antioxidants. Plants don't have any antioxidants that animals can use, and we are animals. An animal antioxidant is cholesterol, for example, which we can get from saturated animal fat. Pretty much any kind of meat, as long as it's not lean, obviously. The antioxidants in plants are supposed to protect the plants. They are toxic to humans. I have made videos about this in the past. You can check them out. It's very well explained, and it has been studied and proven. Vitamins and minerals. Plants don't have over 15 micronutrients, and I assume that he's not adding any eggs, for example, to the smoothie. Let's assume that it's plant-based, most likely, as in 100% plants, which means that there's tons of vitamins missing. Really, plants predominantly only have vitamin C, which is used to metabolize sugar, because plants are loaded with sugar. And they do have minerals, but then again, they have anti-nutrients which bind to the minerals, so you don't actually get them. All of the most important vitamins, A, D, K2, B12, are not found in plants. So how can it in any way be a super smoothie anyway? Just because of the nutrients already. Adaptogens, interesting topic. There's a bit of craze going around it right now, but what it's supposed to do, the main reason people use it, is that it's supposed to reduce the stress. You're supposed to be more adapted to it, so to speak. That's why adaptogens. And that's funny because these adaptogens are toxins. This has been proven. And what they do is actually cause stress in the body, and your body is supposed to get used to the stress so that you're more used to it when you're stressed from whatever, working out and working in general and so on. It's really funny once you understand what they actually are. Polyphenols. Made videos about it, talked about it a lot in the past. Those are also essentially just toxins, poisons from the plants. Quite often polyphenols are a pretty strong form of acid, which can actually burn holes in your stomach if you use them as a supplement and use too big of a dose. And it, of course, also acts as an antibiotic and destroys your gut microbiome and so on. Really bad for you. The last point is healthy fats, but of course plants are based on oils such as poly and monounsaturated oils. And yes, our body does use these oils, but only a little bit. Our cells are mostly made out of cholesterol and saturated animal fat, and that's what we need to consume. So to say that there's healthy fats in a super smoothie is very misleading.
Antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, adaptogens, polyphenols, and the healthy fats like omega-3s than anything else you can possibly.
And of course, he doesn't give any reasoning. He doesn't even explain what exactly is in there or how it works. He just names these things because he doesn't understand it also. Otherwise, he would have named the actual benefits from each of the individual points.
Possibly put in your body. Now, when I drink 1, or sometimes in my case 2 per day, guess what happens? You feel fuller for longer periods of time, which means you automatically eat less food throughout the day.
You could technically feel fuller because of the fiber, seeing as it's indigestible, but that's not a good thing. You should feel satiated after a meal.
It also means, by default, you eat less processed food and sugar throughout the day.
Yeah, but then you're depressed and addicted to junk anyway. It's not as if you gotta drink a super smoothie to stop eating junk food. What kind of doctor is this even?
Overall, the ratio of healthy food to unhealthy food is dramatically improved.
That's not healthy food. Healthy food is not made in some mixer and it doesn't look green. Humans in general, with our natural senses, don't find green stuff appetizing. We look for red food, and the red food is the unhealthy food, which is burgers, and there's an actual burger patty in between there and some vegetables and whatever garbage, but that's what we actually want. But no, red is of course unhealthy. Absolute nonsense. Meat is red and that's what humans crave.
But how many of us have such a hard time of kicking that sugar habit, or dare I say, sugar addiction? These smoothies help me destroy my sugar cravings because most of that sweetness...
That's stupid though, because... well, what is he gonna say? Wait, let's see.
This comes from monk fruit sweetener, which is 0 grams of sugar. The rest of the sweetness comes from the sugar in the fruit itself.
Okay, so I was going to say he's using fruit anyway, but okay, he also uses artificial sweeteners. It's been proven in studies that they still raise your insulin, so your body believes that you're actually eating sugar, which is what you're supposed to get when you taste something sweet. Your body doesn't understand that you're stupid and you're a modern slave who consumes artificial sweeteners. It will still produce insulin for it. And when you don't have any sugar, but you're still producing insulin, it's a one-way ticket to diabetes.
Which overall is a very small amount of sugar. And unlike with juicing, you still retain the fiber of that fruit. And that's important because that means that the sugar ends up being digested and absorbed into the bloodstream at a much slower rate, which means you get a much slower and lower rise in insulin level.
It's not much slower, but it is slower because the fiber is indigestible. Yes, that's true.
And the absolute key to metabolic health is to keep those insulin levels down. And when that super smoothie has even more fiber coming from things like chia seeds and flax seeds and other ingredients, that means even slower digestion and absorption, and you feel full for a long.
You could also simply stop consuming so much sugar throughout the day, go on a not necessarily low carb or keto diet, but just lower, even 100 grams a day instead of 200-300 or whatever he's consuming.
Long time. Let me ask you this. Do you consume enough soluble and insoluble fiber every day?
I don't eat any fiber pretty much ever. I do eat fruit, but when I do, then I chew it up in my mouth and spit out the fiber. There's very few cases when I actually eat the whole fruit. If I eat a mango, then I maybe do consume fiber. I consume fiber maybe once a week, if at all.
For adults, it should be about 30 grams per day. So let me know in the comments below.
That would be horrible. I would be so constipated.
Very curious. Now, there's no question that most people are especially lacking when it comes to the insoluble fiber, which is just as important as the soluble fiber. But guess what? You get both types of fiber with chia seeds, flax seeds, nuts, vegetables, all things that I put in my various smoothies. In fact, most of my smoothies have anywhere from 15 to 25 grams of fiber. So that's basically most of your day's worth of fiber in just one smoothie. The only thing though is you shouldn't go from 0 to 60 with the fiber. You want to gradually increase it every day to the point of 30 grams per day. And since I've been drinking a super smoothie a day, my gut has gone from always making noises, being gassy, irregular bowel movements, to now feeling great. My bowel movements have been better than ever.
I don't believe that he feels great now, and what he said of course proves all of my points. One thing, for example, is that you're not supposed to produce gas as a human being at all, as in ever. If you do, you have digestive issues. And of course you will have digestive issues from eating man-made smoothies made out of man-made plants.
Just remember though, that you're going to want to drink enough water in your day to go along with that fiber. This is especially true of when you have chia seeds because they swell when they absorb water, so they're going to expand and they can do this in your gut after you drink the smoothie. So if you drink lots of water,
It's really stupid to consume whole chia seeds because they are not digestible. You simply swallow them, they go through you, that's it. You could grind them up, but you don't want what's inside of the chia seeds, such as the phytoestrogens. You shouldn't be consuming them in the first place.
Chia seeds will start swelling in your stomach as opposed to starting to swell in your intestines. But chia seeds are not. I drink on average 1 gallon of water per day. And of course, there's other benefits that come with drinking.
Oh my god, if I drink even a little bit of water, and that's really if there's nothing around and I'm somewhere deep in the forest, and even from that my tongue already gets really dry. It's very dehydrating. How can you drink a gallon a day? Actually, from the looks of it, it does look very dry.
Super smoothies, they help to prevent or fight cancer, especially colon cancer. They boost immunity, reduce inflammation. They have anti-aging effects, including healthier skin, balancing out hormone levels, reducing fatty liver disease or fighting against it, help to prevent or improve diabetes, naturally improve high blood pressure, improving those cholesterol numbers, reducing the risk of heart disease, including stroke and heart attack, reducing the risk of dementia, and much, much more. So this is truly why drinking a super smoothie a day helps to keep the doctor away. It's all because you're consuming unprocessed or minimally processed foods, and because of the high concentration of superfoods. The most common superfoods I use include North American berries, so like strawberries, blackberries.
How are they not processed when they're literally processed?
Blueberries. Then you have cacao powder, cacao nibs, chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds.
All very toxic, especially the cacao powder.
Chlorophyll-rich greens, so for example, spinach. Then there's also maqui and acai berries, goji berries, and algae like chlorella and spirulina.
Yeah, algae, that's human food for sure.
There's others as well, like mulberries, pomegranate, sea buckthorn, camu berries, turmeric, matcha powder, cinnamon, ginger.
All of this is very toxic, and if you would consume high enough amounts of the camu powder or cinnamon, then you could actually literally die from it on the spot because of how toxic it is. Your body couldn't handle so much of it.
And more. When you combine these superfoods with the right ingredients, they taste incredible. And for me, it's not...
Yeah, again, combine them with the right ingredients. What are those? Super sweet fruit.
Not just the science and the medical evidence that backs these benefits. I proved it to myself. I felt better than I've ever felt. I work out 5 times a week. My running time has improved. I have more stamina. I'm sleeping great.
Yeah, of course, he runs like a slave for no reason through the city. Jesus.
Great. My sugar cravings are held in check, and I rarely eat.
You consume sugar all day long. Of course, you don't want even more sugar. You don't want to eat donuts with chocolate after you consume a smoothie full of sugar and cacao powder or something. Does this guy not think?
Processed food. You can probably tell from my smoothie videos that I have so much more energy, but also people keep asking me if I lost weight. Well, I lost fat, but not muscle, and I'm more focused and motivated than ever before. So I have a challenge for you to drink 1 super smoothie per day for the next 30 days. Go ahead and give it a try, and then I want to hear in the comments below after 30 days how you feel different after doing so.
I also have a challenge for you guys. Drink blood every day for 30 days and tell me how you feel. Or try the super smoothie and then try drinking blood from a healthy animal. No medicine used, grass-fed if it's a cow, and so on. Just eating its natural diet. We'll see how you will feel in comparison to the super smoothie. I can tell you right now, you will feel so incredible, you will never even go back to anything else. And that's because blood is the most nutritious and digestible food for a human being. It's number 1. There is nothing better that you could possibly drink. And I just gotta laugh at these modern doctors who don't understand anything about food, health, or nutrition whatsoever. What a joke. Thanks for watching.